Spying is available.
Okay, perfect.
Yay!
Yay.
Now that I'm firmly discombobulated, I believe Eliana was bringing breakfast to Uriel, so he's also going to be
Why?
discombobulated. Why not?
Yep.
Kind of wakes up and gives a big yawn, looks to you. I must have slept in a while. You had time to make all of that.
Oh, Ramiel made it. The only thing that I did was bring it back.
Oh, good to know he's earning his keep around here, those lazy bones.
Yeah, you both call each other that.
It's a fun game we play.
Oh, like the stealthiest paladin game.
Infinitely better than the stealthiest paladin game.
What does it even mean to be a lazy Taldora? I don't think you exist.
You'll have to ask Adriel.
I don't think I will.
Kind of forces himself to sit up in bed. How did you sleep?
I was awakened to sleep a little more than usual. I hope it didn't bother you, but well enough. Well enough. There are a lot of people in this line of work who aren't good sleepers, but so far it's never seemed to. It doesn't usually plague me. I'm fortunate in that way.
Well, that's good. I was a little concerned after last night. You seemed still pretty wound up.
I was. I'm worried. I'm worried about my friends. I'm worried what it's going to look like when I come back. It was a big fight. It was an intense fight, and it's a lot. But one day at a time, right?
Indeed. One day at a time.
And what about you? How are you doing with everything that happened in the City of the Dead?
I wish I could say it was not... that it was unusual or out of the ordinary, but I've long accepted my line of work.
Yeah. Well, in some ways that's good. In other ways, what you fight? In other ways, what you fight? Cultists of great, big, tentacled creatures every day.
He kind of shrugs. Perhaps not quite that. But to call hand, it's a mix of similar problems.
Yeah. Whether it's that or just everyday blood season.
I think I'd rather the tentacle monsters.
The tentacle monsters end easier, and they're not trying to chop your fingers off while you're trying to help them.
Less moral ambiguity.
Exactly. Yeah. And it is your work. And you're good at it.
They're all my work.
Yeah.
Do you need to run back?
I've got time for breakfast with you. But then I think I want to talk to Ilya and then go back.
Fair enough.
But they've spared me for this long. They can continue to spare me a little while longer.
Cheers to that. And he will hold up his teacup for cheers.
She raises her teacup in turn and clinks.
Okay, as you settle in for breakfast, Corinne and Grim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does the morning look like for you all?
I think probably by 9 or so, Grim has failed to fall back asleep for real. Probably despite efforts after the morning's reckoning. Are you hungry yet? Tell the truth.
Fine, yes.
All right. And they kind of put on a determined expression and sort of start to untangle themselves. Get up. Look at the door. Look back at her. Look at the door. Take a couple steps towards the door. Stop. Bosun is on top of his 2 pillows on the chase with like spread eagle on his back with his wings spread out, like wings and tentacles draped over across the pillows, and his feet up in the air.
I love this for him.
Yes. His bell is not in his bell is like landed on the floor nearby, because he was sort of ringing it to himself occasionally until he fell asleep, and then it would have fallen out of his bill and rolled to the floor. So Grim will redirect and pick up the bell and set it on the pillow next to Bosun. Stop walking again.
Are you going to make breakfast, or should I satisfy myself on trail rations from my backpack?
Oh. Are those the only options?
There's also pastries that Aravis bought last night. Probably still in the library.
It's not going to get easier if I wait, is it?
Well, you could hold yourself up in here for a week or so. It is going to get more complicated the longer you wait, and it's not going to get easier, and realistically, people are probably going to start knocking before then, so it's really whether you'd like to be in the driver's seat or you want someone else to come find you.
Let me try the library and see how that goes.
All right.
And they'll walk to the door and stop. And like take a deep breath, and then they will step outside and go to the library go to the library. Did Erebus, in fact, leave the box of pastries there?
She sure did. She didn't buy them for herself.
Okay. So they'll pick up the box of pastries and return to Corinne's room. Hold it out.
She sits up and takes it.
Well, you won't starve at least.
I also am able to get up and go request breakfast myself, but thank you. That's reassuring that I also will not have to rely on that necessarily.
Have you ever stayed in your room for a week? I wasn't
No.
assuming that you would. I assumed that you wouldn't, and then I realized that you do enjoy resting and when you can. No, you don't enjoy resting. What is it? Lounging. You enjoy
Yes.
lounging. And I wasn't sure if I was underestimating you.
No, the thing is, it's really not good for you to be, like, resting in moderation is very good. I love a good late wake up. But if you're staying in bed for a literal week, either something is very, very wrong, or, well, no, something is very, very wrong. That's about where it stops.
All right. Look over at the door. I may be back very soon.
What if I told you I have an errand to run?
Does that mean that... Are you suggesting that
You're
I'm
not
on an
invited.
errand, or are you saying that you won't
You're-
be here when I get back?
I'm saying that I won't be here when you get back. You're not invited on this errand.
All right. I might have my own errands to run. But I was trying not to think of that because then I might think about sneaking out the back. Rather than... You don't have one of those, like, in Baldur's Gate that Alina had? If I open
do not.
your wardrobe.
We have not had the time to contract with individuals to make those sorts of things here. No.
Would you like one?
Grim, stop dodging.
Well, I may be back very soon, whether or not you are here. We'll see.
All right.
And, like, stand there for, like, another 15 seconds before walking to the door and stepping out. And they are going to creep down to... They would like to attempt to stealth down to the... Like, the lowest point... The highest point on the stair where they can look into the tavern. So, like, I sort of envision there's probably, like, a landing that they can pause on that's not, like, at the very bottom of the stairs.
Yeah, there's a spot.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see how that goes for them.
Erebus's passive perception is pretty high. She's not actively looking at the stairs. But she is posted up hoping to catch a glimpse that people are in one piece. Oh, let's see that stealth check.
That's
Alright, is that a perception check for me?
Yeah.
I think so. Alright. Come on, roll 20. I clicked the thing. There we go.
Wow.
Oh, that's a crit fail. Yeah. So yeah, Erebus is just posted up in a booth, drinking more tea. Has probably consumed an entire pot by now. And is reading a book and not looking at the stairs.
Is this caffeinated tea or is this uncaffeinated tea that she is drinking?
Well, it's not like she sleeps. She's probably
We
drinking
know.
like English breakfast or something. It's probably the equivalent of like English breakfast.
And Heather, how's the rest of the tavern look? Like, is there?
It's your normal breakfast crowd, which has come in. You have a weirdly specific vibe in your tavern, and it's tired adventurer who's slightly too old for this shit, but not old enough to actually retire.
Delightful. And is
Incredible.
Calendra's brunch situation, buffet situation is set up?
Oh yeah. Quiches are out.
Amazing. I was briefly like, how many cats does Eliana have now? And then I remembered that there's quiches or something else too. Okay, so the tavern looks fine and appropriately busy, but not excessively busy for this hour. Eliana is nowhere to be seen, and Erebus is in the booth with several dragons. That's the lay of the land. Okay.
Well, two dragons is several dragons when one of them is Sable.
I guess technically it's a couple dragons, but yes.
Well, one dragon is a tabaxi that's trying to help. He is
Yes.
following Calendar's instructions to the letter.
Oh, I love that for him.
Yeah.
And for Calindra even more. Okay. So, I think Grim sort of stands there, like, on the landing, just sort of looking for probably a good 30 seconds. Trying to work up their confidence, and once they realize that fails, sort of work up their determination. And it's kind of the same. It's the same vibe as Grim drinking black coffee when they have a hangover. Like they are tapping into the. This is not exactly good for them, but this is a form of self-punishment that they can potentially leverage. Have they learned anything? Unclear.
It's only been overnight.
It's only been overnight. They've had a lot to think about and work on, and yeah, they've learned some things. Just it's been a lot. And then they will sort of all, not in a rush, like they're not hurrying, but sort of without stopping, maybe in a slight rush. Just gonna walk straight over to Erebus's booth. Good morning.
She was not expecting them to just appear. And she looks up. Oh, Grim! Hey, how are you?
I think I'm not going to answer that. If it's all the same to you. I'm sorry.
No, that's great.
For
no, you're fine.
not
You're
for
fine.
that. For yesterday. I apologize.
Erebus looks at them for a moment, and after a moment says, "Okay, apology accepted.
What?
I am not going to pretend to know what you were going through yesterday, because I don't, and I'm not going to ask you to explain it to me, because that seems like it's going to be too hard for you right now. But I am also sorry for what I said. I don't think that was helpful."
Did you say something?
Yeah, right after Say mentioned she'd shoot you and then resurrect you before the whole thing. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it didn't help.
Oh. I may have missed it. I apologize for that
well,
too.
I'm sorry. No, you're Grim, it's okay.
I don't think it is.
Well, okay, it's not okay, but we're good. And I know that, I know I probably can't do anything to help right now, but if there is ever anything, you just need to ask.
All right. Thank you.
Sure. Did you find the pastries?
I was going to say that I stole your pastries.
I bought them for you.
I didn't eat any. Was I supposed to? I gave them to Corinne and
You
then
don't have
came
to.
back down here.
Okay. I just thought they might help. But you know, it's okay. You're not supposed to do anything. I just thought that they might be helpful, or at least something not bad.
They sort of, like, visibly think about it and then nod, sort of slowly, like they're sort of thinking it over. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, they just sort of stand there awkwardly.
Do you want to sit down?
Maybe.
Hey, can I get you tea or anything?
I'll do it, I think. They stand there for like another 10 seconds and then sort of turn and sort of amble off to the kitchen. Like moving more slowly, like a little bit dazed. Sort of still like lost in thought. Not dazed, lost in thought.
God, poor Grim. Erebus looks after them, just kind of like realizing that this is 100% not about her, but also completely stymied because she wants to help and there's no way.
Yeah, they're gonna go hide in the kitchen for a little bit.
Okay.
Unless Philip and Ember are feeling catty, in which case they'll go hide in the basement for a little bit.
Incredible. Yeah, Erebus is just gonna be in the booth because she doesn't have anywhere else to be yet. She has a couple errands that she'd like to run, but they're not crucial like Corinne's errand.
Delightful. I think Grim does, like, if she's like it's probably like 5 minutes. Like it's longer than it would take to make maybe about like 10 minutes. It's longer than it would take to make like it's just like a plate of scrambled eggs and toast.
Sure.
And a cup of coffee. But they walk back. They walk back out of the kitchen. And I think they're just gonna go straight upstairs because once they went there, they were like, well, I came down. I need to go make food, so they went to make food. So they will head back up to Corinne's room.
Okay, and then Erebus will not try to stop them, but she will see that they have food and they're going back upstairs and be like, okay, they're safe. That's all I can ask. That's all I need. And I guess I'm just gonna go about my day. I guess.
Who do we follow, or do we jump to Eliana? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we can jump to Eliana, but I guess Erebus is going to turn her dishes back in, let whoever know to let whoever comes in know that she's going to run out for a couple of things and come back.
Okay. So, are we picking up with Eliana again, or?
If so, happy to do so.
I just felt like I'd been talking for a while and didn't want to assume that it was that I should keep talking.
Yeah, I will note while this conversation with Grim and Erebus is happening, Corinne sneaks out to run her errand.
Stealth check, please.
Okay. 28.
28, yeah.
Delightful. Grim sits down in her room and eats the eggs that they made for her.
She's just taken a pastry, like one of the, like, a plain croissant or something like that. and takes it on the road and heads to the Temple of Selune with stuffed bosun in tow.
Alrighty. Alright, Temple of Saloon. Right, I should clarify what Temple of Saloon, because Google's making some assumptions. Temple of Saloon, Waterdeep!
Yep.
Alright, towards the seaward.
Indeed.
Okay, so you approach the Temple of Saloon, this huge, magnificent entrance that dominates basically the whole block. Bigger than most of the neighboring villas. 4 stories tall. With granite walls on the outside, and a lot of white marble tile.
Well, they certainly don't hurt for donations, I suppose.
Roll a history check.
Alright. 15.
15. Many of the prominent families in Waterdeep are Saloonites, including the Neverembers.
Huh.
And also, the Saloonite Temple is one of the ones that's like, they do a lot of fortune telling and divination magic for donations.
Okay.
They're one of the few religions that's like, yes, come have your fortune told. That's a good thing to do. Instead of, how dare you dabble in the fates.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So, hefty donations happening.
Yeah. She kind of sighs and makes her way inside. She is looking for Ramiel, assuming that he will be at some point available. But if she
you walk in just about the same time as he's walking in.
Oh, perfect.
Like, you kind of arrive right around the same time.
Excellent. She catches sight of him. Perfect. Like, points. You. I need to speak with you.
Right, okay. In an office or just, about?
In an office, probably.
Yeah. He actually, he doesn't really have an office, he realizes, as he realizes that this is not his temple.
Yeah.
So he will take you, so the main doors lead directly to the entrance hall, which is beautiful with vaulted ceilings, semi-cylindrical in shape, and there's a bunch of balcony galleries. So he's going to actually take you to one of the balconies.
Okay.
They're pretty discreet.
Yeah. So when they get to one of those galleries, she pulls out stuffed bosun. You remember the conversation we had about whimsies?
I do, yes.
I have a vessel for you.
Wonderful. Would you like to do the ritual now?
If it's not too much trouble, yes.
Okay. Alright, let's go.
she will follow his lead.
He actually will take you to one of the chapels. There's multiples. He takes you to the Chapel of the Waning Moon. It's kind of west off of the building. It's actually fairly empty this time, right around this time, because it's not actually generally used this time of the month. Because the moon is currently waxing.
Ah.
But it's beautiful. He will kind of, as he kind of comes in, he says a prayer, and will kind of just say a prayer, and then the lights kind of start fairly well lit, but as you move into the chapel, they kind of gradually dim to the brightness of maybe starlight.
Ooh.
And you see at the center of the chapel, just kind of hovering, is a simple inverted crescent moon made of mithril. And below it is a small silver offering bowl.
All right. What's an appropriate offering?
That's a difficult question. How about this? Why don't we do the ritual, and you can talk to the planer about it?
Sure. That. All right. That works. Like vibe of like I'll talk to the who now, if you say so.
All right. Let me just look up the description for the spell. Yeah, he's going to, he kind of goes into the chapel in more depth. He goes to a wall that looks like a cave mouth, and which is illuminated by a single shaft of moonlight. Kind of reaches around a little bit, and then pulls out the reliquary, causing the illusion to flicker for a moment. And then he is going to sit in prayer for 3 minutes.
Corinne is just like very focused, watching, like clutching stuffed bosun the entire time.
Okay. So, after a moment, a woman kind of... There's a burst of moonlight, and a woman appears in the center, in front of the crescent moon altar. She has dark eyes, but everything else is like white. It's very much, she reminds you of someone very specifically, with white hair, bright gray eyes, very pale skin. She is fully decked out in silver armor. She looks a little confused as to why she has been summoned. She holds her spirit out to one side and then looks to you. And then looks to Ramiel, who stands and approaches.
Corinne's just kind of like her mouth is like a little bit agape, just in terms of like, oh shit.
She's like 8 feet tall, so she is large.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Well, is someone going to tell me why I have been summoned?
I was hoping that, well, I had heard of, Whimsy Guardians, and I was hoping perhaps to, inhabit, this one. And she kind of, like, holds out the stuffed bosun.
I need a. Is this literally saloon? Or is this?
You can roll. Like, anyone who wants to roll can.
I'm not there. I just want to know who I'm asking for a monologue from. So I guess I don't really care, but I want a monologue from whoever this is.
From the
As they
Celestial.
perceive the stuffed bosun and the question, and realizing why they have been summoned, to whatever extent they may have realized this.
Well, it's not for combat or protection. I suppose protection in a certain way. What a strange thing. However, these are usually for children, and human children can be quite imaginative. I'll hear it out. So that's your monologue.
Human children.
Human children. You know. That thing Grim definitely is.
Uh-huh.
And she takes the stuffed animal. It's tiny in her hand.
Yeah.
Is this for yourself?
No, it's for someone close to me.
With nightmares.
She nods. Powerful ones.
Are you good with a blade?
Yes.
Can you move...
Like, expression a little bit like, I don't know what that has to do with anything, but okay.
Can you move quietly in the night?
Yes.
I can entreat a whimsy to bond with this form. However, I do need a favor done for me.
All right. What sort of favor?
Tonight, when the moon is dark, go to the hero's garden. There will be someone there who needs rescuing.
You said Hero's Garden when the moon is dark?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is this for me alone? Or are others permitted?
This is your task.
She kind of nods slowly. All right.
And you see her take the small stuffed animal and kiss its head. And you see a faint bit of moonlight kind of enter the small stuffed animal's eyes before she hands it back to you.
She takes it and kind of like clutches it in. Here is God when the moon is dark tonight. How should I communicate with you when it's done?
I will know.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you in advance.
And she kind of just like keeps staring at her and then like remembers that Ramiel is there.
She does turn to look at Ramiel. Do try to find the moonlit path, Ramiel. And with that, she will disappear in another bright light.
Heather, can you cut out for a bit at the end of that? Can you say that again?
Do try to stay on the moonlit path, Ramiel. And then she will disappear in a bright light.
Corinne kind of like stares like for a couple moments, like still has the stuffed bosun kind of like clutched to her chest and then blinks a couple times and then glances at Ramiel and was like, two questions. One, was that Saloon?
No, that was one of her celestials. As far as I can tell. Right. I don't think that was herself. But
all right.
It's not out of the question either.
Second question, did she just scold you?
She warned me.
About what?
About staying on the moonlit path.
Okay, but what does that mean?
It means I don't hunt down my Uncle Jarlaxle and make him tell me where my father is.
So you are also formulating your own bad idea.
Perhaps I'll avoid it for a little longer. I have dancing tonight.
Priorities.
Priorities.
Corinne puts the stuffed bosun in her satchel. Thank you again. I greatly appreciate this.
Of course. I'm just an intermediary.
Well, that's still something I wouldn't have been able to do myself.
He takes the reliquary and begins putting it back.
How often does that happen often?
Does what happen often?
Well, like the summoning sort of thing.
Gods no. I've done it
so what?
I've done it twice.
Oh, so that was actually a really big favor that I just asked for.
He chuckles a little bit. I'm happy to do a really big favor for someone who is trying to stop Tiamat.
I suppose that's fair. We're even then.
Maybe you could do something a little additional for me, though.
Corinne kind of like smirks a little bit and is like, how much talking up do you want me to do of you to Erebus?
Oh, I think I can hold my own. I'm
All right.
going to take her to the Gentle Mermaid tonight.
Excellent place.
Corinne,
Drinks are okay, but
you know that the Gentle Mermaid has a strict dress code.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to warn her that I'm taking her there. I feel like once she gets there, she'll like it more, but, you know. Is that a bad idea?
Well, here's the thing. If she just thinks that you're going out dancing, there's going out dancing, and then there's going out dancing to the Gentle Mermaid. And if you're going to be wearing, and she kind of gestures at Ramiel at large, this is not going to cut it.
I would not wear this to the Gentle Mermaid.
Does Aravis know that she needs to not wear this?
I do not think I very clearly stated that.
Right. That's going to be less enjoyable if she can't get in because she's not dressed up to code.
Right, so I should talk to her friend and mention I plan on taking her to the Gentle Mermaid.
You should talk to her friend. Good thing her friend is feeling very generous, considering that a celestial was just summoned for her as a favor.
Favors on favors.
Favors on favors. Well, I will go talk to Aravis's friend and see if she can pass the word along to ensure that the dress code is up to snuff.
And I will get to work and not track down a peacock pretending to be a drow.
Corinne just gives a finger gun and then departs. And she'll head back to the call and sneak in the same way that she came.
Sounds good.
Or that she left.
All right. So, let's pick up with Eliana.
Yeah. So she was finishing up breakfasting with Uriel. I think was going to drop him off at the trauma ward,
Mm-hmm.
and then go see if Ilya is in her office.
Sure.
So happy to drop in on that wherever that makes sense to flush out.
Sure. Yeah. You head to Ilya's office. The office door is closed, but there is sound coming from within.
Okay, I'm gonna knock.
Enter.
And I do. Ilya, it's good to see you.
She is still fully armored from the night before. Looks a little like she may have gotten in at least a fight. She has a, what appears to be some sort of goo pack on her eye, which is swollen shut.
Go ahead. If you had something,
no.
If I cut you off.
Nope.
Okay. What happened in the City of the Dead after we left?
It's the City of the Dead. Dead. Couple of snotty little skeletons that needed to be put in their place.
Still skeletons even after we dispatch the giant tentacled creature and its cult.
Some things never change.
Indeed, they never do. I am happy to see that you are well. Are you in need of any healing?
Nah. I'll be fine. If I don't get a black eye every once in a while, they actually kick you out of the harbors.
I don't believe you.
No, it's in the rule book. You can check.
You don't have a rule book. Oh no, that's the Dashing Veil. You folks might have a rule book, actually. I wouldn't know. You have secrets.
See, it's a secret. And she tosses the. It looks like a. It's definitely not gelatinous goo, but it's some sort of goo type material, wound in a wax linen pack. She kind of tosses it on her desk and leans back. What can I help you with this fine morning? It is morning now, yes? Yes. We left.
It is morning, yes. I stare briefly at this gooey material and try to make out what it is from just a casual glance.
Sure.
Anything I can roll for this?
Medicine, I suppose.
Yeah, makes sense. 10.
It's just an ice pack, but
Oh,
it's frozen ooze instead of a frozen. It feels like something Sophia made. Truly.
yeah. Right. Well, there is some good news coming out of all of this from our trip north to the High Forest. We have information about how to close at least some of these gates so that they can't be opened and used to summon Tiamat.
Thank the gods. I'd like that not to be hanging over my head anymore.
I would like that too. Of course, my understanding from all of this is that if Tiamat is truly determined enough to come back, that she will, but we don't have to make it any easier for her.
I agree. I don't think that I agreed with the idea to keep them unlockable at any particular moment. If you're going to seal something away, seal it away. Anyway, I'm very strongly opinionated this morning. Good news all around.
I scanned the office for a coffee mug, to get a sense of whether Lilia has had her coffee, and if so, how much.
Roll a perception check.
17.
17. There is no coffee mug. There is an open bottle on her desk.
You haven't had any coffee yet.
No, I'm trying to go to sleep.
Oh. Ah. Well, in that case, I am going to leave you to it.
I just got back, actually. Was hoping to wind up a few things before going to bed.
Right. Well, I can say that we've wound up a few things ourselves on our trip. Yeah, took care of the Yeti too.
Oh, good. I'll have to give Erev a surprise.
Please do.
Oh, actually, you can give it to her for me. She reaches into her desk and pulls out a small pouch and hands it to you.
What can I tell her about what it does?
Does? It looks pretty. It doesn't do anything special.
Well, then that is what I will tell her. All right. I will leave you to sleep. Thank you for clearing things up last night and for everything.
Thank you for returning my wife and children to me.
Of course. And I'm off.
Before you leave, she's
Yeah.
gonna put a hand on your shoulder. That includes yourself, you know.
Yes. It does. You only have two so far.
I have plenty of children, if they're not official. She's gonna roll an insight check. Roll a deception, please.
Okay. 15.
Yeah, we're not done. Come sit.
I will listen. I will come sit.
You are troubled.
Yes.
It was not a question, it was an invitation. She's going to pour you a coffee cup of the liquid on her desk. It appears to be some sort of rum. And she will hand it to you.
I take a sip. I take a sip of the rum. Well, Grim is not well after yesterday's events. And I don't know how to help them. And my attention is divided. Part of it is here, and the rest of it is up above ground.
What needs your attention here?
Uriel's here. He doesn't need anything now, but metaphorically, in general, my heart is split.
You are allowed to care about more than one thing, Eliana.
I am.
It's not a failing to care about more than one thing.
I am, and I do. I only cannot care about one and leave another's needs unmet.
Yaro is pretty open about what he needs. Has he mentioned anything specific?
No. I think he would if he... I think he would if he... But I don't love him yet.
Okay. She picks up her glass and takes a swig of it. That's okay.
I feel bad about it. I wish I did. I want to. I think I will in time.
You've known him a month. And that's being generous.
That's true.
Uriel takes after me. I tend to fall a little quickly. Killer did not love me back when I loved her. Not as much, not nearly as fast either.
It'll be what it'll be.
Exactly. Has he pressured you?
No, of course not.
So? Enjoy the feeling of being loved. And if your feelings come in time, they come in time. If not, break it off.
I do. I do enjoy it. Only what is the difference between loving someone and loving the feeling of having someone's attention?
Well, you could have anyone's attention. You are a pretty girl. You walk down the streets, I'm sure you'll find at least a few who will be happy to give you attention. Do you want their attention?
No, I don't.
Then clearly it is not about the attention. It's about the who.
It's something to think about.
Eliana, I'm going to give you some advice I will never give to my other daughter. Think less.
I can see why you don't give that advice to her.
There is no shame in enjoying something because it feels good.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a world of being able to have nice things and be with nice people.
Eliana, you deserve nice things. And you deserve to be loved by nice people. Okay?
Okay.
Now finish your breakfast and get out of my office. I'm going to sleep.
I take another sip of the drink, and then leave it be, get up, and say good night.
Good night.
And depart before there can be any more therapy or parenting.
Fair enough. I'll say that you and Corinne probably arrived back at the call at about the same time.
Have I had a chance to escape?
Yeah, probably.
I do make a stop for pastries.
So many pastries.
I don't know that Erebus brought back more.
Amazing.
Corinne slips back in completely unnoticed. Makes her way back to her bedroom.
Grim has would have stayed there for just long enough to eat the breakfast, and then would have headed downstairs and headed out. I think they do go out the back entrance at this point.
All right.
They peek into they would peek into the tavern, but if Eliana wasn't back yet, which it sounds like she wouldn't be based on timing at that point, they slip out the back entrance.
I love this. Everyone missing each other. Nonsense.
It makes for excellent gameplay.
I know.
It does. My ulterior motive is they are also going to the court to try to catch Ilya.
Are you
Sorry,
And
serious?
I'm hoping they can get there before she goes to bed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what time is like.
All right, you're heading to the court.
Yes.
Sure enough,
Yes.
easy enough. Ilya's office, the door is unlocked.
I guess there was always the question of whether they cross, like whether they cross paths with Ileana on her departure, because I don't know.
I feel like
how-
Grimm is like straight up like in their own head and hood up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Ileana close Ilya's office door behind her, or would she have left it open?
Closed it.
Oh, it's closed.
Okay. Grim knocks.
Come in.
They do. They open the door and slip in, and close the door and stand with their back to it.
Ilya is at her desk. She's still in her leather armor. She's got her feet on her desk, and some sort of like ice pack on her eye. She looks up at you. Oh, I was expecting to see you. I was expecting to see you first, actually.
Why?
Because you tried to
First?
sacrifice the world to a giant tentacle monster.
I did not.
Good to hear.
They sort of. What was that?
Good to hear.
It's complicated. And they just sort of like they've got their back to the door, and I think they just sort of like slide down and slowly sit on the floor.
Alright, come on. Sit at my desk. In a chair. Have some breakfast.
I just sat down here. I don't want to get up again. I already ate.
Who said anything about eating? And she pours you a glass from her bottle. It smells like rum.
Oh, that seems dangerous.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
I can't reach it from here on the floor.
Well, then you'll have to come sit in the chair.
And if I don't, you won't do the favors that I'm going to ask of you, yeah?
I will make it a full name to yell at you.
Oh, now I want to know what it would be.
Grimson Canary Jones, sit in the chair.
And I think they are startled enough to laugh a little bit. Like it's not a great laugh, but it's genuine. And I think they sort of like roll over their feet, and sort of like it's not that big an office, right? Like,
No.
Okay. They will sort of crawl the couple of feet to the chair and then sort of climb up into the chair. They're not going to bother to stand up for this. They're making a point. I don't know what point it is, but they're making it.
She hands you a glass of rum.
They will. Can they try to pretend to drink?
Sure, you can try to pretend to drink. Roll me sleight of hand.
Is this a sleight of hand? Like they don't they don't actually. And she can probably also tell with whatever her probably obscene passive insight is. Like they don't really think they're fooling her.
Mm-hmm.
It's this like, but they're grim,
Mm-hmm.
and they are making any number of points apparently. I should likely already know the answers to this because I have been doing what I do for several months now, but I don't really. Where does one I am going to need some better armor, I think. Maybe a shield. maybe where does one get equipment if one is getting equipment to use oneself and not to give to Corinne? I don't think I need that standard.
You do need
It's
that
going to be a bit
standard.
harder not to get killed.
My gods. What sort of armor? She says that, and then she, like, grabs your arm and, like, holds it up. Alright. You don't seem like a full plate sort of kid.
I was going to say it shouldn't be clanky.
No, Corinne would kill me for that.
Yes, she would. Me first, and then you.
So I guess, so out of character, what she's asking is what level of armor are you looking for?
Yeah. And let me look up the armor chart. That's gonna be whatever the best that benefits from a dex modifier and doesn't impose disadvantage on stealth checks. So I think that's a breastplate is what we're going for here.
Sure is.
And a shield, maybe. I can pay, obviously. I don't.
Bullshit.
I'm not asking donations. I beg your pardon.
She goes to her closet and she reaches in. Right. I'm putting her ass in adamantine. And she pulls. She pulls out a large chest and she opens it up and she pulls out an adamantine breastplate.
I don't know what that is. That's a great number of syllables. I assume this is what one would give to Corinne if one were giving Corinne metal armor, which one would not.
One would not give Corinne metal armor. I will give you my metal armor.
They will get up and walk over to take it.
It is a
Sort of
black metal with almost a green undertone to it.
And adamant, this is a little bit lighter.
Adamantine is a little bit lighter. It negates criticals on you.
Oh, that's cool. Sort of holding it and sort of like, in spite of themselves, admiring the like they don't know that part, but they know it's aesthetically pleasing. I don't know how to put it on. Is it just?
It's this strap here, up over your head, and then we do the strap on the side.
They sort of will, and then they'll take it off again. Thank you.
Of course. Doing weapon lessons as well.
Yes, I was going to say someone to practice. I can't use the scimitar, but
You have one.
they do. They do have one at their hip. I'm not supposed to.
You should not have one. You should have two. And she reaches into the closet and pulls out an extra scimitar.
I'm gonna need to change my fighting style. That's fun. Surely there's someone here who.
Surely there's someone here who fights with two scimitars.
And will not tell anyone. Yet.
Alright, let's go find an empty chapel. I have an hour.
Is this why you're trying to make me drink rum?
No? You just looked like you needed a drink. But
I was going to say it might help.
Alright.
And they will reach back to the, like, start to reach back for the coffee cup. Realize they are holding a scimitar in that hand. Sort of awkwardly juggle it to their other
No,
hand.
you strap it on your back. And she will arrange the straps.
This is getting very complicated.
It's not that hard.
You're not going to ask why? Like expression of like they don't it's not, they don't want her to. They just like are assuming someone will.
I can put the context clues together, and do you want me to ask you why, or do you want to learn how to fight with 2 scimitars?
Neither, but the latter more or less. Let's do the latter.
All right.
And they'll take a big swig of the rum and go from there.
All right. She will take you down to an empty storeroom at the bottom level, and she will start teaching you how to fight with 2 scimitars.
Delightful. That's fun. And they are competent, but not skilled. Delightful.
Perfect.
I'm happy with that for the time being.
Okay.
Can we have a 5-minute break?
Sure.
Sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Delightful.
Alright, I think everyone's back.
Is everyone back?
I don't know, but I am now. Hello.
No.
Did not expect the central drama of tonight's game to be, is Ilya ever going to get to go to bed?
Ilya never expected to be able to go to bed. That's why she's in her office.
Yeah.
Then don't be in your office, Ilya. Be in your bed. Like, there's a way to fix this, and it's to make yourself unavailable.
Tell Dore.
Swear to God.
I've got to get back to doing headings. And when I do, I've got a heading in mind. It is work-life balance.
That's very good.
It's almost like Ilya knew her kids had a traumatic night and probably will need her in the morning.
Almost like. Wonder if if she's going to collect any others.
Well, this is not Erebus's errand, I'm gonna say. So.
That's what you say now.
I mean, unless Ilya decides to go into Waterdeep.
Then she wouldn't be at
Right,
her
now we
office
have
when a
everybody.
kid comes by. We do.
Yeah.
Okay. So who all is doing what this morning? Because Grimm's getting lessons in
Erebus.
sword fighting.
Yeah. Erebus, after establishing that Grimm had food and was safe, collected Sable and took him out to get some clothes that fit better. So that's what she did. It probably doesn't take very long. I don't know what Sable's opinions are about clothes. She's just like, I just want you to feel more comfortable and have stuff that you can wear in the tavern while helping Kalindra, so she gets him a whole, like, basic wardrobe.
Wonderful. He's very excited about clothes.
Yeah.
He's not excited about wearing clothes, he's just excited about the concept of clothes.
Uh-huh. And she, like, explains, like, you don't have to wear these except when you're, like, in your tabaxi form, but I wanted you to have stuff that fit a little bit better, and that'll help you help Kalindra, because you really like that. And obviously when you're a dragon, or when you're a cat, or when you're other things, you don't have to wear clothes.
He's very excited about all of this.
Okay, great. I love that for him. So yeah, so then, and then Erebus will get him and Bianca a small, dragon treat, which is, like, not, I imagine Waterdeep doesn't, like, sell stuff that's for dragon. But, she will, like, get them some snacks.
Yeah, there is an exotic
From, like, a street
exotic pet store that sells, like,
Perfect. Pseudo-dragon treats.
pseudo-dragon treats and stuff for, like, weird birds and lizards. You pick out a couple things.
Okay. Yeah, so everyone gets something nice, and then Erebus heads back to the call.
After Corinne's errand in the morning, she will sneak back into the call, set the stuffed bosun on her bed, since Grimm is gone, and then she will go look for Erebus to give her a heads up that, like, hey, you're gonna need to fancy it up tonight.
Okay, so yeah, Erebus walks in with her shopping bags and her dragons.
Corinne kind of is coming down the stairs at the call at that point and flags down Erebus. She's like, "Oh, you already knew.
Knew what?
Is that for you?" Pointing at the shopping bags.
No, they're for Sable. He needs better fitting clothes, so I bought him some.
Ah. Right. So, what were you planning to wear tonight?
You see this look of absolute panic across Erebus's face, because up until this point, her brain has been too full of other people to think of this. That's a good question. Do you have any tips? Also, how did you know it was tonight? Did you talk to Romuald?
You told me last night.
I didn't tell you it was tonight. At least I don't think I did. And Erebus kind of looks contemplatively at the scene.
Corinne is just gonna play this as it lies. I'm fairly certain you did tell me.
Okay, well, yesterday was a day.
Extremely
Anyway,
fair.
yeah.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
All right.
I have this, she gestures to her traveling clothes, and other variations of this, and like sweaters and tunics, and the dress that I wore to the Chiral Ball.
All right. Put
None
those
of those
away.
is appropriate, is it?
No. Put those away. We're going shopping.
Okay. And like, Corinne knows how to dress. Erebus has seen this. She's relieved that someone who knows what they're doing is here to help. So yeah, she gets Sable to change and says, like, you can stay and help Kalindra. I'll be back in a little bit. I gotta go run another errand, apparently.
You need help?
I don't need help, but maybe Kalindra does.
Kalindra always
Unless you
needs
want to
help.
come.
It's
true.
I help Kalindra.
Okay.
Corinne is like nodding vehemently at I help Kalindra and shaking her head equally vehemently at like unless you need help.
Okay, I help Kalindra.
Okay, I'll be back.
Dishes, bubbles, fun. And he runs to the kitchen.
Right.
You know what? I don't want to know, and also I'm sure Kalindra has it better in hand than I do, which is a weird thing to say. Anyway, yes, shopping.
Yes. We are not going to
Not
stop
allowed
at
to nervous.
Okay. I think Erebus's brain is currently what is my life and other variations of such. Yeah, she's I should have thought of this last night when I suggested going out tonight. But I didn't, and that's fine, and I'm glad that Corinne is here to help me with this, because I don't know anything about fancy clothes, and did not anticipate that I would need them. So, I don't know anything about dating. What am I doing? That's the monologue.
Amazing. So Corinne kind of like links her arm with Erebus and begins dragging her towards the door. So we're not going to see Aelin because it's too short notice for anything custom made, but we can make do.
Okay.
There's plenty of shops that have, stuff that you can wear off the racks. We'll find you something appropriate.
Okay, great. I trust you.
And Corinne will just lead the way, and we'll go high street shopping for something appropriate.
Perfect.
I love it.
I guess then there's like a shopping monologue of Erebus being like, what is this? Why is this? Does it need to be this fancy? Okay, I guess. and finally ended up something with that's lovely but not too complicated.
Yeah, there's at least 1 or 2 items that Erebus is like, yeah, this is great, and Corinne's like, absolutely not.
Incredible.
Okay. Shopping montage. Eliana, you return to the call? Or are you going on the shopping montage with?
Well, that depends on whether I see Corinne and Erebus when I'm getting back to the call.
I'll say as they begin to head out, you're heading in.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
Oh, you're home. Hi.
No distractions. We're going. You can come with us. We're taking Erebus shopping for her date tonight.
A date?
All right. Do you want pastries?
Yes, I do. She takes a pastry.
All right. I will come along.
Okay.
I think that will be a good thing to do.
Great. Thank you.
Are you all right?
I don't think about clothes regularly, so no, but it's fine.
All right. Well, you've got Corinne and you've got me, so you are going to be all right.
Great. I love that for me.
Does Erebus actually look like she loves that for her?
She looks like she's trying to love that for her.
Corinne just kind of like taps her on the shoulder and is like, you'll be fine. Just smile when I tell you to. Turn to the sides when I tell you to. You're in good hands. You'll be just fine.
Okay.
So what is the date?
Dinner. I'm going dinner to dinner. Dancing. Oh my god. Ramiel and I are going to have dinner and do some dancing.
Very
Overly
good.
composed smile.
Do you like dancing?
I do like dancing. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
You sound much more convinced that second time around than the first time around.
Okay. And she kind of looks between them. I have never done this before. It never occurred to me that I was going to need something to wear that wasn't my normal clothes. The last relationship I was in, there was not a dating phase. We were just kind of weirdly attached to each other for 50 years and then started hooking up and then stopped hooking up. So this, I don't know how.
Corinne just like puts a hand on her shoulder and is like, all right, take a deep breath in. And then a slow, deep breath out. You're going to be fine.
Okay, yes, you're right. It's fine.
He already likes you.
He does, that's true.
It's not going to be hard. You are going to have a good time. You're going to look fabulous. And you are going to make him want to see you again. Just by your sheer existence.
Okay. Good, thank you. I needed that pep talk.
And you also don't have to do anything that you don't want to do during this date.
Oh, I know.
Good.
But that's a good thing to hear and say. Thank you.
Yeah, it can be whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
We'll be dancing, so that much is going to happen. So
yes, but that was a question that I was asked and I agreed to it and I'm looking forward to it and this is fine.
All right, wasting time. Let's go. Out the door.
Okay.
Everyone go.
Okay. But she does look a little bit more calm after that. Because sometimes you know a thing, but then you need to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eliana leaves the pastries by the door.
Question that is just relevant because it's relevant right now. Eliana, are you handing over the pouch for Erebus?
Thank you for the reminder, and yes, I had forgotten. I had already forgotten that she had that. So, she she reaches into the bag of holding. Ilya asked me to give you this.
Oh. Why?
Because she wants you to have it, and she says it's something pretty.
Okay. she takes it.
Corinne is tapping on Erebus's shoulder, like, open it, open it, open it.
Erebus, yeah, she takes the parcel and opens it.
Yeah, you find a simple, looks like a simple circlet, made of silver. It has a single teardrop pearl hanging from it.
Erebus just kind of stares down at it.
Excellent. That will be perfect inspiration for what we're getting you to wear tonight.
Ilya wanted me to have this? Does she know?
Probably. She's a Taldore.
Ilya knows
met
everything.
them.
She knows everything. I came into her office to ask about the situation in the City of the Dead and tell her what we did in the High Forest, and before long she had me sitting in a chair in her office with a glass of rum and talking about my feelings.
Hey, if you are okay with it, I would also like to talk about your feelings while we do this shopping trip. Is that cool?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, walking. We're walking. Walking.
We're walking, and we're walking.
Right.
I'll pay for that. Corinne monologue.
Nope, there's something about feelings. We're going out the door. Door, door, door. Moving, moving, moving. The less time we spend talking about feelings, the more time we can be moving towards shopping. Go, go, go.
Incredible, thank you. Okay, so shopping.
Yeah.
Do you all talk about Ileana's feelings while shopping, or does that get punted till later?
Corinne studiously is picking out new outfits while the conversation about the feelings is happening.
Yeah. And like Erebus knows why Eliana is freaking out, so she will check in, just be like, did something happen with Uriel besides the whole thing he said yesterday? Or is that the thing?
No, well, that's one of the things, and Grim is the other thing, since I haven't seen them since last night, and of course I'm worried about them. But yes, yes, Ilya had some things to say about how it's okay if it keeps taking me time.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it doesn't feel like it, but people do this at different speeds all the time.
I feel happy.
It's the only thing that's important right
I feel like Like if I'm in a room by myself, I could just dance and spin around.
And that kind of makes Erebus kind of side-eye her. I'm not going to speculate about anything because that's intrusive and not cool. But genuinely, Eliana, if that's how you feel, you're fine. You are enjoying this, you're invested. That's all you need to give.
I am. What? I'm not sure if I want to ask you what you're not saying because I feel like there's a lot that you're not saying.
Erebus thinks about this.
But also you might not want to say it, and so you could just tell me that if that's what you don't want to say.
Yeah, I would say that it seems like you care a lot. And the feeling of being happy in a committed partnership with someone who cares about you is a good sign. And I really can't. It's not my place to say anything more than that, but there is nothing wrong with where you're at right now. Nothing wrong at all. There's a lot that's right with it, actually.
Oh, that's not supposed to be a save. That's just a general wisdom die that I figured I would roll to see what Eliana might be picking up right now, and that's a 14.
Yeah, Erebus wasn't going to say any of that until the dance and spin around part.
Yeah. I do care, and I am happy.
Great.
Is it really that simple?
I mean, yeah.
Huh. Eliana looks at whatever garment is right next to her on the rack.
I want a monologue from Erebus.
Erebus has already monologued this session.
Damn. All right.
I want a monologue from Eliana then.
Yes.
It can't be that simple. I would know there would be rainbows, there would be butterflies. You were supposed to just know. Maybe that's simple in a different way. I'm going to have to think about this. Ilias has to think less. but how do I feel, really? How do I feel? Not just how people think I feel, not how I want to feel, not does somebody think one thing or believe another one, or like it's attention from somebody, attention from a random person on the street. There are all kinds of attention. There is. It's even attention, even liking attention from somebody who you care about isn't the same thing as loving them. It has to be about the person. It can't just be about how they make you feel. But it could be. About careful hands and strong arms and a silly smile. I don't know. And she looks at the garment next to her. Pulls it off the rack. Examines it.
Erebus is watching this and currently regretting all of her decisions.
Corinne pops in every so often, like, I really like that, but I think you should do it in the forest green instead of the Cali green.
Okay. I think I know what the difference is.
Corinne has already brought one of the color mentioned. It's like, try this one.
See, it's a darker color, and I think you'll feel more comfortable with that.
Okay. Cool. Disappears into the dressing room to try it on.
I'll be back with some shoes.
Why are there shoes involved? You know what? It's fine. Corinne knows more about this than me.
Aliena's looking after Corinne.
Yeah, Corinne is just like flitting around, grabbing like accessories and shoes and a handbag, and like this is the best thing that has ever happened to her. Like,
I love her so much.
Ramiel knows who he chose.
The vibe is very like Cher getting Ty made over in Clueless. Like this is happening.
Amazing. Erebus kind of pokes her head out once she's put on the dress and just kind of, did I overstep? Are you okay? Should we just forget we talked about that at all?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I don't ever want you to feel like you can't say things to me.
Okay. Well, okay. I think you're doing great.
Thanks. I think you're doing great too.
Cool. I will take that in mind. Okay, what do you think of this one? She steps out and shows off the dress.
I think you look happy in it.
How do you feel in
Do you feel like you can dance in it?
She looks in the mirror, swishes around experimentally. Yeah, I think I could.
Then we have a winner. Question. Are your ears pierced?
Yes, and she pulls aside like the wisps of hair that typically cover her ears to show her piercings.
Excellent. And Corinne will like hand over a set of just like very simple like silver like dangles that just have like ornate like a leaf outline in the metalwork. It's kind of like with negative space kind of filling the like the blades of the leaf. But yeah, just like very simple, dainty kind of like silver delicate things. Just, like try those, see how you like them.
Okay. She goes to one of the mirrors and puts them on. Oh, these are lovely, and they're not too big or heavy. Okay.
Corinne turns to the cashier and she's like, add those to the tab, please.
Of course, my lady.
And then like kind of gives Erebus one more once over. I think this has been a very successful trip.
Thank you. I really appreciate this.
Honestly, the favor's for me. This was the most fun I've had in a long time.
Well, good. I'm glad we could all have a fun day after.
We're not going to talk about it right now.
Right. Got it. Cool. Great. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So then she removes everything and hands it over to the cashier to pay for it.
So altogether it comes out to 4 gold.
That seems ridiculously cheap, but Erebus is like, okay, and pays it.
It's off the rack clothing.
Fair enough. This is not Kyrell Ball custom made clothing. Yeah. Okay, yeah. This is very exciting. She's like has a little bit of a lilt to her step now. She's like, this is actually pretty cool. Okay.
Corinne just looks pleased and smug. And I think we head back to the call afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy enough. Grim, what have you been up to other than after your lesson in scimitars?
Yeah. So Grim, probably like sore, but probably a bit like tired in a sort of useful fashion. Like they're probably more relaxed now because they've exercised some of the frustration and angst out.
Mm-hmm. And Ilya did not take it easy on you.
They would have been upset if she had.
Mm-hmm.
Were they able to scrounge a shield as well?
Oh yeah,
or
it has
they denied a shield because it's 2 scimitars or nothing, which is just like fair.
She said that you could have it, but she said swords are the best. She basically was like the best defense is an offense. But she did let you have a shield. Like if you must play with it, then I suppose.
I do like options. And this is all very... I don't know what's going to land, so... anything to keep it from landing squarely in my face. No helmet, though, yet. That's a bit much. And so, yeah, laden down with all this gear. They will head out, and they would like to swing by the wizard tower, Regis Tower, please.
Okay.
And we'll walk in. Is Fleming at the desk, or is there an intern at the desk, or someone else?
Fleming is at the desk. He's kind of flipping through some papers, writing notes.
They were here not long ago. They're just gonna go up the stairs.
He's gonna look up at you. Are you looking for someone specific?
And they're just gonna keep going. Unless stopped, I guess.
Okay. You just go upstairs.
Yeah, they're gonna go up to the room they saw Bones in last time.
Okay.
I think that was all the way up, but Grim would remember
Sure.
which door it was.
The loft.
Yeah, and we'll knock.
Okay.
Does anyone answer?
No.
They'll knock again. And then they'll listen to the door as best they can.
After a long moment, Bones opens the door. She is wearing a bandeau top and a pair of slouchy, poofy pants that look like they're made of some sort of silk. You notice that the house you're looking into does not match the room that you knocked on.
Oh, you're still...
On my
I was going to say you're still here,
Yeah.
but you're still somewhere else, aren't you?
Sure am. Did you need something, or?
I was going to ask if I could use your library, but it's not there, is it?
The general library downstairs is still there, yeah. You can use it.
All right. And they'll step back and close the door. And we'll go downstairs to the general library. They remember there being books in the loft, but they may have been increased. I'm not looking at the chat because I can't yet. It'll look later.
The look that Bones gave you when you're like, oh, you're still... was sincerely you felt it in your soul.
They were kind of expecting her not to be there, and they were just going to sneak in and use the library themselves. But then she ruined it by opening the door.
The cat is judging you, yes.
It's fine. They're used to it. Yeah, and they would like to scrounge the general library for like baby's first book of magic.
Sure, there's definitely
Essentially.
there's some introductory books on magic. Some like evocation primers.
And so the question is, what is the level, like what is the magical reading level of the sort of simplest stuff available in Reg's library?
First and second level spells.
Okay, so there is some assumed knowledge.
Yeah.
Not much, but like these.
There's
okay,
like
fabulous.
some cantrips and some first level spells.
Okay, I Hannah am hoping for something that is a little bit above anything that Grim's gonna be able to make sense of. Like if you have to, if you're at the wizard school, then I'm assuming you have displayed some actual aptitude or knowledge or something. But I don't know how Reg runs his programs.
Well, the first level spells are like the freshman level. So you don't just like, I went to elementary school and now I can cast prestidigitation. Like, college in and of itself is for the point where you understand the theory enough that you can do it.
Fabulous. They're going to pick up, they're going to basically take probably 5 or 6 different books that look like they are the basicest of basicness that is available here. And they're going to head out.
Just walking out.
Yeah.
As you walk by Fleming, there's a
They will stop, but not turn.
You have to check the books out.
Why?
For tracking purposes.
All right. How do I do that?
First, you have to walk over to my desk and face me.
They will very slowly do this.
Right, so you need to fill this card out. It's a card with like your name, your address.
Great. They write Grimson Canary Jones.
Great. Okay, Grim now has a library card that says Grimson Canary Jones.
They will write the call's actual address. Hang on. I need to.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't. I was going to see if there was anything I could do to roll a deception check, but it's just going to be straight charisma. Bam! Their face is entirely straight as they do this.
Fleming could not care less. He's just making you do the thing that he was told to make people do. And then he goes into the books and he pulls out there's a small slip in each of the books, and he writes down the identification number for your card onto each of the slips, and then he pushes the books towards you.
Grim wouldn't know to ask when they're due, so they just leave. Yeah, and we'll head back to the call, like walking a little more slowly than usual. They will whichever book, like they will put the books in their pack in the haversack before they leave, except whichever one is smallest. And they will be trying to read it as they walk back. Like the first couple pages, like continue, like they read a page, and then they read the same page again, and then they read the second page, and they go back and read the first page again. So like they make progress, but there is lots of like, what have I learned on page 4, and how does that inform what I should have learned on page 1.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they'll walk back to the call.
Okay. You all arrive back at the call at about the same time. Some of you with new clothes and some of you with new books.
They will go in the front entrance.
What are you reading?
Hi.
Got your attention so
Jump
rapt.
a mile. So Grim is now like, I'm trying to think how they're even transporting all of this. So the scimitar, they have one scimitar at their hip, and they have one scimitar across their back. And I think the shield is also across their back. And
they're wearing the breastplate.
Yeah, I think they're wearing the. They have to.
Okay.
They have to. No, I mean the haversack like is sort of slung over. I think the haversack is over one shoulder. And I think the breastplate is like over the like sort of over the other shoulder as best they can. No, same shoulder, because they're probably like having to like carry that shoulder higher to keep everything from falling off it. And they have a book in their hand.
Okay, in that case. So
So if the book is still what catches her attention first, that's fair. But they did not go home between errands.
Yeah, okay, got it. So Corinne takes this in and is like, where the hells have you been?
And they still jump a mile, and the breastplate, the breastplate and haversack slip off their shoulder at the sudden movement and fall to the floor with a great thump and clatter.
Is that a... Where did you get it? You got a second scimitar?
Aliana starts picking these things up.
Thank you,
Grim.
Taliana, sort of leaning down to help, to sort of help take them back. Does that require an answer, or was that a statement of fact? Thank you, Eliana. Or they would say Elenia. Thank you, Elenia.
You're welcome.
And you're carrying a... She kind of like turns her head to like peek at the cover of the book. Is that a book on magic? So you're carrying 2 scimitars. You have a shield now,
It's
and
allegedly a book on magic. It appears to be largely a book on math.
Oh,
Different
God.
math.
Different.
Then navigational. I believe it becomes a book on magic somewhere around page. They start sifting through and see something that they should have learned on page 2, and go back to read to sort of stare at that, get distracted and like have her focus on that paragraph.
Oh, all right. Do you know how to use that second one?
I knew how to use the first one.
Well, knowing and there's a difference.
Ilya gave it to me.
Ilya gave it to you.
They're just kind of waiting for that to let her process that. They're assuming it takes them home. It's going to take a minute.
Yep, fair.
And they see Irvis has a garment bag, I assume?
Yeah, absolutely.
New clothes.
New clothes. Date clothes.
What? With who?
She almost gives them a look of who do you think? But, stops herself partway through. Because she has clocked that Grimm is carrying a bunch of new armor and has a book about a level of magic that they should already know. And says, Ramiel and I are having dinner and dancing tonight.
There is a very long pause, and they look from Erebus to Corinne, and then they realize they don't want to look at Corinne because she'll ask them questions about what they're carrying again. And they look back at Erebus. All right. I need to talk to Lenya. Lenya, are you free?
Yes, I am. Inside, I have pastries.
Yes, please. And they're just gonna sort of turn and realize they can't open the door because their hands are too full of things, and they can't teleport. And they're just gonna sort of stand there awkwardly.
Corinne.
Similarly, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, Corinne lets them stand there for a moment, like a couple of beats, and then walks to the door, opens it, and then bows very low as she gestures towards the open door.
Eliana goes to loop her arm through Grimm's and then realizes there was nowhere to be looping arms. Right. Can I carry something?
If you can find my dignity, please. And they're just gonna go inside, like turning sideways to shuffle through the door. Like the things, like clearly everything is so precariously balanced. Like if they, like handing anything off would topple the whole lot at this point. Is visibly the case with the arrangement.
Relatable.
And I think they'll just start walking up the stairs to the library.
Yep.
Hoping that someone, but not everyone, follows. But we'll see, I guess.
Going to follow.
Erebus will wait back with Corinne and just kind of lean over to Corinne like, okay, I told them I wasn't going to ask. And even if I did now, I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't tell me. But do you have any idea what that
that's about. So, so Grim can't cast magic anymore, apparently. And so I suspect this is now adventurer's first armaments set.
Oh. Okay. Sure. Erebus is putting a few things together, but that is probably enough of an explanation for now. Cool. Lunch, I guess, while we're waiting for them?
Lunch sounds great.
Wonderful.
That sounds
Let's
really
do that.
great. Yes, let's take
Okay.
it. Put your outfits up in the closet in your wardrobe upstairs. Yeah, I'll get some. I'm feeling fancy today. I'm gonna make myself a latte. And goes to ye old espresso machine. starts making herself a
Incredible.
treat.
Erebus will go put her clothes away and come back down because this is a normal day.
It's a totally
We're just gonna
normal
have
day
a normal lunch.
where nothing weird is happening.
Incredible.
Yeah, so Grim, I feel like I need to roll something to find out if they can get upstairs without dropping everything. 12. No, they definitely, the breastplate, there's definitely a thunk as the breastplate hits the floor again. But yeah, they'll eventually make it to the library and pile all of their things. Not all of their things, no, nothing sharp and pointy, but like the breastplate and the haversack and the shield all go in one overstuffed chair, and they start to sit down like sideways in another, and remember they have the scimitar on their back, and take that off and like prop it up against the like there's probably like a little end table or something they can lay the scimitar across, but the scimitars across. I wanted to apologize for yesterday.
You were scared, and you wanted to help us.
They wince a little bit and you were scared. Yes.
I
That
know.
sound...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I
was just going to object to having it put like that, but it was correct.
All right. And the fact that you wanted to help us wasn't wrong. Only have faith in us. Yeah, we've got you.
I know.
We've still got you.
They nod.
And I've still got you.
They nod again and sort of look hard at her for a moment, and then sort of will reach out and just sort of gently bop their hand, their closed fist against her shoulder.
And she returns the bop.
But I am sorry. Which I know is not sufficient.
I forgive you.
Thank you. And you are all right under the circumstances?
Yeah. Yeah.
And very good. And Uriel is all right.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Got him back to his own apartment. He does have his own apartment.
I don't need to know the details, please.
I wasn't going to, but
Thank you very much.
there aren't any.
That's almost a detail.
All right. More pastry.
More pastry, please.
Liliana just hands over the box.
They will, they did not actually eat any of the earlier pastries. They were too busy being in black coffee mode. So they will select the sweetest pastry available and take a bite. Thank you very much. It didn't occur to me to get pastries. My hands were full.
Well, now they're not. Now you have hands for pastries.
This is a great deal of many things. Bosun is, I believe, still in bed, but he's all right also.
Oh, that's very good.
He may be in the actual bed by now.
He should be enjoying his pillows and blankets.
He usually does. I'm trying to decide if we should go back downstairs or if we should pretend that we are having a very serious conversation, that there are no further questions about my scimitars.
I am thinking pretend that we are having a very serious conversation. And in the meantime, I couldn't get through this book, but maybe I don't know, what is your tolerance for absolutely ridiculous romances with theatrically shirtless men on the cover?
Depends. And they'll gesture for her to hold the book up so they can see the cover.
Yeah, she does. She does, in fact, hand over the reach up into the shelves, hand over the book that she has in mind. It's not the Drow Paladin one, but it is one that she attempted to read with Corinne earlier. And it's about a dusk walker who goes between life and death, and it's a very pale man with a very broody face, and he's wearing a cloak, but he's also not wearing a shirt.
And so this is the quality of book that she and Corinne hate read. Is what's happening here. Okay.
Yes, Liliana couldn't even hate read this one.
Yeah. So they will. So this is not to Grimm's taste. They are as there are some they are a romantic, but they hate reading is not a taste that they've seemed to, if I remember correctly, they've deviated with Corinne on certain books that fall into that category. So as they do, they will look at it. They will open it to the last page and look at the end, and then they will hand it back. I think that one you may need to take downstairs, and I believe you and Corinne would Corinne would give you a more entertaining discussion of that particular whatever that is. I will learn more about math.
Yeah, very, very, very good. I will not ask you about math. And Aliana return the terrible romance to the shelf, um, skim it again, and then realize that she has an actually good book in her possession, and that it's Dagger Hands by Bones, and start reading that.
Amazing. Yeah. So team avoid the awkward conversation. Or avoid a very specific awkward conversation in favor of a different awkward conversation. I guess it's the library for now.
Yep.
Delightful.
Erebus and Corinne, are you guys doing anything special?
I don't think so. I think it's just
think so either. Just lunch
Yeah.
and chat.
yeah.
Maybe Erebus has gotten around to mentioning, maybe Erebus has gotten around to mentioning that the Paladin book is actually about Rommel.
At which point Corinne stops mid chew, and she's like, I'm sure, like, continues chewing, swallows. I beg your incredible pardon.
And Erebus starts laughing. Is like, that's good. That was good. So I tried to return it to him last night, I should say, and he skimmed it, laughed, and handed it back to me and said, most of this isn't real, I promise. And I was like, excuse me, what? And apparently he dated a writer for a very short period of time, and after they broke up, she wrote the book.
So when you say most of it's not true, what exactly do you mean?
He said there were some pages that were true. But most of it wasn't.
Corinne promptly holds her hand out for the book.
Erebus fishes it out of her bag. But holds it away. She's like, if I let you see this and tell you which pages he said are based on fact, will you promise not to tell me about it?
I will promise not to tell you about it.
Are you crossing your fingers behind your back right now?
Holds her hands up in the air. I promise I will not tell you about it.
Okay. Erebus has not heard the emphasis on you. She hands over the book and says it's 157 to 159.
Corinne immediately opens up to page 157. What is the contents of this particular section?
Oh, it's a very particularly steamy section. A bathtub is involved. It's great.
Corinne just kind of like slowly perusing this and like making faces like, oh. Huh. I didn't know paladins were allowed to do that.
Erebus is kind of staring at her and regretting every decision she's ever made. And like the monologue would be, I will not ask, I will not ask, I will not ask.
She's not telling her what's in it.
She sure isn't. She did what she asked. Once it's become clear that Corinne has finished the package, she kind of the passage. She kind of clears her throat. She clears her throat and says, "Anyway, he has a signed copy." Already. So he said it can go to someone else who will enjoy it. So it's not his, but people keep giving it to him, apparently.
Oh. Well, I believe I'm someone who would enjoy this immensely. May I have this?
The look on Erebus's face is distinctly, I thought you already read it, but she says, okay.
Excellent. You're so generous.
I'll consider
this payment for our outing this afternoon, or this morning.
Well, yeah, I mean, this seems like a, this seems like a reasonable, yes, for sure. Thank you. I appreciate you.
You're ever so welcome. Tucks the book into her satchel, cannot wipe the look of glee from her face. And just continues eating lunch.
Yep. Erebus also continues eating lunch, and she is very deliberately not admitting that she knows what, or at least something. She has a guess what Corinne read.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. She didn't really make it hard.
No. She really
didn't tell you anything, but you can infer. Like, you can't help but to infer.
Oh, 100%.
That's on you.
Yeah. Yeah. She, in trying not to give herself advanced knowledge, she's basically given herself advanced.
Amazing. So that's lunch for those two.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness. Wow, I can't believe I said package. That was incredible.
That was beautiful. What a gift.
I love a good Freudian slip.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh goodness. Alright, anything before Erebus gets picked up for her date?
Nothing for me that needs to be on, like I don't know if Grim will come up with other things to say, but nothing that needs to be on screen at this moment in time.
I think perhaps eventually Eliana will say, I would like to go see Karis today and drop off the herbs that I collected for her. I don't know if you would you like to come along, or would you prefer to stay here?
And they sort of look like there's sort of a startled look up from the book, like they were sort of deep in hyper focus and had sort of forgotten that anyone else was present. And so it's just sort of a moment of reorienting. I had forgotten about those completely. Thank you very much. I think I've spoken to enough people for one day. So, thank you for the offer. I think I will stay here.
That sounds good to me.
Are the pastries going with you?
No, pastries are staying here.
I will keep watch over the pastries.
I have no doubt that you will observe them with a keen eye.
Like, give her a finger gun and reach for another pastry.
Okay. And she will give their shoulder a tap on her way out. And then, yeah, see how Corinne and Erebus are doing, if either of them would like to come along for this brief errand.
Corinne will politely decline.
Erebus will also politely decline. She has to go stare in her mirror for a few hours.
Very good. So yeah, Eliana is off to go see Karis.
Okay. The house is chaos as it is filled with children. And everyone's inside because it started to actively snow. There seems to be some sort of obstacle course happening in the parlor. Karis is in the kitchen. She is baby wearing a small. I mean, not quite small because it's a Goliath infant, but she's baby wearing them because it's still an infant. And she seems to be chopping up a large amount of vegetables and putting it in a huge cauldron that's boiling over the fire.
Helena makes her way through the obstacle course. I'm envisioning her just doing a bit of hopscotch through it. And I think give some smiles to the children before greeting Karis. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I will be quick. And she reaches into the bag of holding and retrieves the herbs that she gathered, which my inventory tells me she got some strighorn berries, juniper berries, and rose hips.
Oh, appreciate it. These will be useful. Grab a knife, why don't you?
Yeah, she does. What do you need chopped?
Everything. She motions to there's a giant pile of onions and all sorts of stuff.
Very good. I could stand to be doing something that is making some small impact upon the world. And she picks up the knife, and starts to chop up an onion.
Well, 'tis the season for perpetual stew, so.
It is. It is best season for that. We will be warm again eventually, but before that, there are stews.
And I managed to get some spicier peppers, so we'll perk it up a little bit.
Oh, lovely. How are the children I know some children don't like the spice very much.
Oh, most of them will ask me for the peppers. They're the ones that found them.
Very good.
And you watch as she picks up a vegetable that's the onion is in fact starting to go in various places. You see as she picks up concentrates and uses Druidcraft to refresh it and basically make it grow. Instead of it being dead and kind of starting to decay, it gets fresh again.
Oh, impressive.
It's a handy trick when you're feeding so many people.
It is. It is. Oh.
You're right.
Pardon my, that I don't have a lot of words. We fought in something of a difficult battle yesterday.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. We won. It's only it wasn't easy. And there were a lot of people who we cared about who were in danger along the way.
Well, I'm sorry it was difficult.
Thank you. It's in the line of work.
And that's why I'm retired.
It's much better for me to be in a spot to be able to do something about it than, well, It's much better for me to be in a spot to have the ability to do something. But of course, just because we have the skills and the talents doesn't mean we all have to use them in the same way.
I have the skills and the talents, and I've decided to not use them at all, more or less.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm realizing it sounded as though I was implying what you were doing is not worthwhile, and that couldn't be farther from the truth.
Yes, it's worthwhile in its own way, but certainly not world-saving.
And the world needs people who do both what you do and what I do. You can't function without uh, all of us.
Indeed not. Do you want some soup for the road?
Oh yes, that would be lovely.
Of course. And she pulls out a small crock, ladles out some soup into it, seems to be careful to avoid any of the vegetables that aren't fully cooked, and puts a top on it. It's like one of those crocker little pots that has a little lid on it. And she hands it over to you. Oh, actually, wrap it in a towel first. My hands are kind of immune to the heat. Yours probably aren't. Usually.
Oh, they are not. I may create fire, but I can still be harmed by it. And so she has the towel, and we can use some of this for a starter ourselves. Thank you.
Of course. Happy to share. And if you get any vegetables that are a little south of usable, I can fix that.
I'll let our kitchen staff know, and our other proprietors.
Always.
Yeah, we'll fill each other's cups, so to speak. And we'll depart with the stew.
Okay.
And then depending on what's happening back at the call, we'll open up the floor to anything anybody else wants to do, and if there's nothing else, she will drop this off with Kalindra and with the kitchen staff. Kalindra might not be the precise person for this. She's got other duties.
I think I'm good, except that Erebus is going to make arrangements for Sable to help Kalindra for the evening. If Kalindra's okay with that.
Kalindra has taught Sable how to do dishes and is actually really appreciative of Sable's help. You can roll an insight check if you'd like.
Sure. I mean, yeah, definitely. Hold, please. Okay. 15.
There might be some teenage hormones happening.
I'm so shocked to hear this.
But Sable has been taught how to do dishes, and with his natural ability to heat things, is doing a very good job at cleaning dishes.
Okay. Erebus is not really aware of Sable's level of wow, hormonal interest sounds terrible, but that's the only way I can think of to put it. But she knows that Kalindra is a business-like individual, and honestly, seeing the teenage hormones is a little bit of a relief, because she wasn't sure that Kalindra knew how to be a young person. So, with just a bit of, like, a heads up to the not Grim, to Eliana and Corinne, to if they could check on Sable at some point, make sure he's doing okay. She'll be back before it gets too late, etc. She goes to get ready. Yeah, exactly. Not today. Today's not the day.
I think Corinne is set for the moment. Nothing really happening until Erebus leaves for her date.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got somewhere else to be, but not till the moon's dark.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll drop off the perpetual stew starter in the kitchen and convey Karis's offer convey to Karis that Karis can restore vegetables that are past their prime.
Okay. Easy enough. Romuald will arrive promptly at 5:45.
Incredible.
And he's in this outfit.
Oh my goodness. Wow. He is a very well-dressed man.
Grim is not downstairs to see this, but I need to know if anyone else is.
Eliana is there.
Corinne is also downstairs, and we'll allow the two to greet each other before she says anything.
Oh, thank you. You're so kind.
Amazing.
Yeah, so Erebus shows up. She's wearing the new green dress and the circlet and the earrings, and has her fancy white cloak over one arm because it's cold.
Yeah. Romuald gives you a bow as he sees you.
Hello. You look nice.
As do you.
Yeah, I got a fun shopping trip in earlier today.
Wonderful. I was planning on taking you to the Gentle Mermaid.
Do I know that the Gentle Mermaid is kind of fancy?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've been in Waterdeep for more than a day, so.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. It's that kind of thing.
In fact,
eyes widen a bit.
the Gentle Mermaid's kind of famous throughout. It's like Monaco, basically. Like, it's really well known for its gambling and its glitzy glamour.
Wow. Her eyes pop a little bit out of her head, but she's oh, okay. I've never been. This will be interesting. Thank you.
Of course. And he offers you an arm.
She'll take it, and then she looks back at her friends. Yeah, I'll be back. Yeah, just like peek in on Sabriel every once in a while. He should be fine.
We can do that. Corinne then kind of like leans to address Romuald, and is just like, make sure she's okay with anything beyond page 157.
Okay, and and we're leaving.
Ramiel doesn't blush, he just laughs. Consent is very important to me, Corinne.
Corinne gives him a finger gun.
Erebus could not get more red. Oh.
I'll have a good time.
Yeah,
I'm gonna roll a check for whether Eliana has a straight face. Oh, 28, yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Erebus leaves this place believing that she has at least one person who is not out to. I don't know. I don't even know what at this point. Have fun at her expense, I guess.
Oh. Yeah. Eliana looks to Corinne after Erebus has left. Page 150. Do I want to know?
Well, so apparently, remember that Paladin book that I was giving Erebus shit about?
Yes.
It is very, 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 very loosely based on Ramiel.
Oh.
With the exception of pages 157 to 159, which are explicitly about Ramiel.
Oh.
And I do mean explicitly.
Yeah, yes, you don't need to say more.
That's very fun for me.
Yeah. Yeah. We wouldn't want you to not have fun.
Corinne's just kind of like, correct, and then goes back to the kitchen to check on Sable.
Elena's gonna get a drink.
So Ramiel has a carriage for the evening, despite the fact that you guys are only going like 3 streets over.
Oh my goodness.
But it's fucking cold out, so there's like it's not pointless.
Yeah, no, for sure. Erebus is appreciative. She lets the cold help her return to a normal complexion, and then gets in the carriage. You thought of everything.
I mean, they had to help.
Do I want to know whose help?
Everyone's help. Everyone had a lot of opinions for this evening.
Of course they did. Of course they did.
Say recommended the carriage, though.
Yeah, last party I went to was with Say, and it was almost as cold as it is tonight, so.
Well, the good news is that the mermaid is heated.
I love that. That's a great thing for the dead of winter.
And it doesn't take very long before you pull up to this huge balconied and turreted 4-story stone structure. It takes up an entire city block.
Oh, this is bigger than I was anticipating. Oh dear. Right now it's my turn to not look at chat for a minute. So she turns to Ramiel. Thank you. I'm very excited. You do know you don't have to try that hard to impress me, yeah?
I don't have to.
Okay. Just
We both live very rough lives on times. We live on the road. We travel amongst all classes, helping people wherever we can. So, I think sometimes it's a good idea to enjoy some splendor while you can, and openly mock rich people whenever you can.
Okay, that sounds like my kind of thing.
Shall we go openly mock some rich people and take all their money?
I would love nothing more.
So I brought about 10 gold, but I think between the two of us we can walk out of here with 200 and then donate it to the poor.
I love that. As long as you don't expect me to have a poker face, because I sure don't. But I do have great insight, if that's helpful.
Oh, that's very helpful.
Okay. Then I think we have a game plan.
Rob from the rich and give to the poor at the poker tables.
Yeah, we're gonna be Robin Hood and Little John tonight, I guess.
Oh,
That is so fun.
perfect. And as you hit the poker tables, I'm going to call it for this evening.
Wow. What a
Amazing.
delight.
What a treat.
Oh my goodness.
Stars for everybody.
Stars
All
for
these
everybody.
nerds.
Oh my goodness. This is so funny. Hugs for everybody, but also this was an incredible session.
Truly.
So good.
Yes.
I love that
Very
some things never
pleased.
change.
Here's the notes. Ooh, I'll stop recording and get that uploaded.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh.
It sounds like Spy Cam taught most of it though, so
Yeah,